Hey, what's up everybody? Right, so we are making one of my favorite all-time recipes. It's so simple to make. It is a crock pot roast. This is something that I grew up eating. Actually, we grew up eating it in the stove, not the crock pot. I love doing it in a crock pot, however, because you can just set it and then forget it. You know that quote. But literally, all you have to do is just put all these vegetables in the crock pot. You're gonna cook it on slow and low for 8 hours, and then you're good to go. Right, now you can use different vegetables if you want, but these are the ones that I grew up with. These are the ones that I found have the most flavor for this particular dish. So what I have here is some tricolored carrots. I've got 4 tricolored carrots. Some are already chopped and in with the roast. And what I have here also is a 2-pound rump roast from a local organic grass-fed beef farmer near Dallas called Burgundy Pasture. I've got 24 ounces of beef bone broth for the liquid from Bonafide. I love this company. They're very clean. So outside of that, we'll have some Redmond real salt that we'll put on there. This is a good mineral salt from the earth. It's going to have some of the earth minerals, magnesium, manganese, iron, etc. I've got a cup of red wine, a Cabernet, a little full-bodied wine. It's going to give it a little more flavor as well. We've got celery, some rough chopped onion, 4 cloves of garlic, some tricolored potatoes, and then some fresh rosemary and thyme. Now, here's a cool tip for you. So you see, I bought all this rosemary and thyme the other day at the market, and obviously I wasn't gonna use this all in one recipe. So if you take this and you put it in a wet paper towel with cold water, wrap it like so, put it in a Ziploc bag and put that in the refrigerator, this will stay fresh for at least a week, right? Another little pro tip for you, when you're chopping all your vegetables, chop the onions last. We all know that sometimes onions can make your eyes water. So make sure you do that last so you're not crying all over the other vegetables. Just a little tip for you. But literally all we're gonna do now is take these and when you chop the vegetables, you can chop them as thick or as thin as you want. I don't recommend chopping them too thin because they're gonna cook down a little bit, but really it's just whatever you like. So literally just putting all this stuff in the crock pot over the roast. I'm not gonna use all of these potatoes. These are actually, I find these in bags at Whole Foods here in Dallas, but you can get them at other markets. They might be in the bulk section, and you can just hand pick what colors you want. So I'm gonna put about half of these potatoes whole in with this roast, and then take a few sprigs of rosemary. So I'm gonna take the whole thing here, this guy, and just pull some of these off and separate them around. And you're gonna take this out and it'll cook down while you're doing it, so you don't have to worry about chopping it too much. And then do the same thing with the thyme. Just take a few of the sprigs of thyme, drop that in there in top as well. You can put it over the top of it. It looks pretty. And then I will actually pour the red wine over the top of all of this. Now I'm using a cup of red wine. I'm using 2 pounds of meat here as well. So if you use 1 pound, then you would use half a cup of red wine, right? So I'm gonna take the Redmond real salt, and the bone broth also is low sodium, so I will salt this like so. And that's it. I'm gonna put this on 8 hours low and cook it. And that's it. So with salt as well, and I've always said this about the ingredients, just so you guys know, with salt, with seasonings, with spices, always start with a little bit and you can always add, okay? So it's better to start with a little and add more. So that's it. I'm gonna put this on again for 8 hours, slow, cook it, be ready to go, right? So I will put the ingredients underneath this video as well for you. If you have any questions, let me know.